So the NFL Combine is here. Along with the NFL Combines, we got meetings taking place, we got interviews taking place, and we got reports circulating. The reports for the Giants right now are circulating all over the place. And when I say that, I mean there's reports that the Giants are interested in the top 3 pick and already have had discussions with those top 3 teams trying to gauge what it'll cost to be able to trade up to the top 3 picks. With that being said, there's also reports that the Giants are willing to trade back. There's also reports that the Giants are willing to stay put at number 6 and take the best player available. Listen, all I have to say is shout out to Joe Shane, because Giants are not going to hint at whatever pick they're willing to make. With that being said, the top 3 picks, as we know it, is the Bears, Commanders, and the New England Patriots. I don't think any of those teams are going to be willing to trade out. But if there was a way to go in there, the Giants have to look at trading to number 3. The Giants have to look at finding out what do the Patriots want to get out of that 3rd pick, slide back to 6, and what it'll cost. I also been talking about on these live streams, if you haven't joined up on Wednesday nights, I've been talking about how the Giants possibly won't have to give up as much as you think. A lot of people right now are worried about what the Giants will have to give up to move up. They have too many holes to address. I actually don't think it would cost that much. If it costs a couple 2nd-round picks, I think you definitely get it done. If it costs 1 1st-round pick next year, who knows? Maybe you still got to get it done if you're going to get the QB that you like. Now, with the Combine taking place, they already talked about how the Giants met with a couple of different players. They already met with Jaden Daniels, already met with Drake May, Caleb Williams, and they also have receivers like Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, and a couple of other guys that they already met. And the reports are that, obviously every player that's up for debate to be drafted by the Giants right now, they love, the whole interaction they had with the Giants. With the whole Giants front office, with Brian Daboll, with Joe Shane. They loved it all. But the couple of people I keep my eye on is a guy like Drake May. I think if Drake May slips to number 3, maybe the Patriots don't want Drake May as much as they want Jaden Daniels. It's already being reported that the Patriots are looking to draft a QB, but they're really, really high on Jaden Daniels. It's reported that Bill Belichick, had Jaden Daniels at the number 1 pick for him, the top priority for the Patriots. So I definitely think if Jaden Daniels gets taken 2nd, which everything is pointing up to, right? It's looking like the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. It's looking like the Commanders are going to take Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels' stock blew up all the way heading up to the draft. Now, that leaves Drake May at 3. Do the Patriots want Drake May at 3? Maybe they're not that high on him. Now, this is all speculation. We're not going to know until 2 months from now when it's April. But I will say the Giants have to check in wherever they can. Here's some of the things that Drake May said.
Yeah, it was good in there. Meeting with Coach Daboll, big fan of him. Offensive mind, one of the best. So it's getting there, getting to know those guys. Know Mr. Shane. So it was good in there. Yeah. Eli's big fan. I think Eli would probably say he's probably seen me too much. I've been following around, so it's always on Zooms. I think the biggest thing is just being a sponge. Soaking it all in, and I don't have all the answers, and I don't know it all. Just being up there with Eli, and like I said, David Moore's training with him down there in Alabama. He was his backup at Ole Miss, so just kind of the small world of connections, and just trying to soak it all up.
As you know, this whole offseason, he's been meeting with Eli Manning, been working with him, and this is exactly what John Mara wants. I'm just going to be honest. John Mara's probably foaming at the mouth thinking about taking a guy that Eli's mentoring, and, he kind of maybe sounds like Eli. No, I'm joking. I said the same thing about Daniel Jones. I'm mainly trolling for the most part, but if you give me the option, though, I definitely think the Giants should try anything to get Drake May. Anyone who's not high on Drake May, who think there's, a lot of flaws in his game, Drake May at least resets everything. Resets the contract for the QB. Yes, Daniel Jones is still getting paid now, but for the coming years, Drake May wouldn't get paid that much. Drake May is also one of the top QBs in this draft for a reason. He was rumored to be 1A, 1B with Caleb Williams at one point, and now you can see him fall into 3. If the Giants can make a way to trade to number 3, they need to do whatever they can to do so. And once again, I don't think it would require that much. But that position is out of their hands. Sadly, we won too many games. We know what it was at the end of the season. Yes, we won some games with Tommy DeVito, but we ultimately lost jockeying for position when it came to drafting a QB. So here we are. Now, if they don't trade for the 3rd overall pick, which once again, I'm fully on board for, but I'm not leaning on it being likely. If I was a betting man, they're going to stay put at number 6 and draft a guy like Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is a slam dunk pick. I don't care what anyone says. If it wasn't for Marvin Harrison Jr., he's the number 1 wide receiver, easily. And some people might think it's 1A, 1B. They might say Malik Neighbors is 1B to Marvin Harrison Jr. Malik Neighbors was that good at LSU last season. And once again, it's not even just about the size. It's not about the speed. It's about everything combined together with his yak ability, explosiveness after the catch, but also just you can see him fitting in the slot. You can see him fitting on the outside. You can see him just taking advantage of DBs and using the leverage well when it comes to his one-on-one game with the DB. I love what I see out of Malik Neighbors. They also met with him. This is what Malik Neighbors had to say about the Giants.
My meetings with the Giants was actually pretty good. Their head coach, they love dogs. They're able to, find those receivers that they really want. And they got a great plan going on to this season that I heard. Right. When I met the Giants, it was a great interview. I knew they was looking for a good receiver. Well, I don't know really if they're looking for a good receiver, but I feel like the head coach, he really likes me a lot. I know they're still looking for that wide receiver one, especially after Odell left. So if I can come in and be that guy, then so be it.
Did you have any relationship with Odell, like when he comes back?
No, I never had any relationship with Odell.
If I'm a betting man, I think Malik Neighbors is the pick at number 6, and I think the Giants are going to stay put. And I don't think they would be upset if the Giants are not able to trade for the top 3 picks and they have to stay put at 6. If Malik Neighbors falls in their lap, I definitely think they're happy. They're extremely happy if that was the case. Does QB completely fall off the map at that point? Maybe. You can see them going in the second round, maybe trading back into the first to get a guy like Michael Penix. Or you're even seeing reports that Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix might be climbing the charts. Spencer Rattler more than Bo Nix. Let me know what you guys think down below, man. Who's your take at QB? Are we even getting a QB in this draft? And once again, man, would you trade for the number 3 overall pick? I know a lot of people are worried about giving up assets, but I think if Drake May's in there at 3, screw the assets. We're getting Drake May. That's what I think is going to happen if the Patriots are willing to. If the Patriots are not willing to, then all ties are lost. A couple of other housekeeping things, man. The D linemen and the linebackers went ahead yesterday. I can see the Giants adding to the D line, potentially edge rusher department this upcoming draft. The interior, I want to see another guy next to Dexter Lawrence, but, are they really going to spend a high pick on them? Who knows? The guy that I was really looking at was Braden Fisk from FSU. His stock is definitely rising after what he did yesterday, so I'm not too sure if he's going to be a pick around round 3. He might be climbing up to round 2 now, but that was a guy I had my eyes on. Today we have DBs and tight ends. For all the people that wanted Brock Bowers coming out of Georgia, one of the top tight ends and potentially the greatest tight end to come out of all time. Brock Bowers goes today, so make sure you keep an eye out for him. But I'm really looking at tomorrow with the quarterbacks and wide receivers, man. I'm really going to be excited to see what guys test at. Some people are waiting until their pro day to perform. But nevertheless, these are the guys that we're keeping our eyes on. Malik Neighbors, Odunze, maybe potentially guys like Mitchell out of Texas coming in the second round. Maybe you can see that happen as well. I definitely think within the first 1, 2, 3 rounds, we're adding a receiver regardless. Regardless of what happened with Jalen Hyatt last season, we're still adding a receiver. You got to be on the lookout. Once the combine wraps up, we'll be talking about free agency next week, man, and what free agency could look like for the Giants and who they should be targeting. Hope you have a blessed Friday. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Road to 10K still active, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.